Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a weekly check-in video for my September monthly budget. I did not film my week one check-in video last week, or just didn't have time to get it up on time, so I've decided to combine both week one as well as week two in this video. So this is probably going to be a little bit longer than usual. I do have here my cash envelopes that I am using for this month. They're this really pretty leopard vinyl. I did show these in my cash envelope stuffing video, so if you guys have not checked out that video, I definitely suggest that you do. But for today, I'm going to be setting up my weekly check-in spread, which I will be setting up right after my monthly budget spread on these two pages. I am using the 7x9 plum paper monthly planner, if you guys are wondering. And so this planner actually comes with a lot of note pages in between the months. So what I've been doing since I started using this planner is take up 2 pages for my weekly check-ins, just because I do have, I believe, 6 categories that I like to track in the weekly check-ins, which are my cash envelopes, as well as any unbudgeted expenses. And so I'm really glad that I'm able to check in with every single cash envelope that I use on a monthly basis, rather than having to group categories, which was something that I had to do in the past in my past planner. So for today, I'm going to be setting up my weekly check-in spreads, as well as I'm going to give you guys a little rundown with my spending. This is my monthly view, which I did also set up with you guys in that cash envelope stuffing video. I do have my little key here, and I'm going to lay down my budget expense stickers with the different categories of the expenses I've made the past 2 weeks now. And then of course we'll get into weekly checking in for week one and then week two, and so on and so forth. So I think first and foremost, I am going to set up the weekly check-in spread. I think I'll just start with that. Alright, so I'm going to set this page up. Also, do you guys like my nails? My sister Ivana actually came over this past week and painted them for me. I honestly could not tell you guys the last time that I painted my nails, and it has been a couple days now that I've had them painted, and they seem to last a long time. If you guys were to ask me which shade I have on, I honestly would not be able to tell you, but I'm sure I can ask my sister if you guys are interested. But I like them. It's something new, something that I don't typically do, so I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my weekly check-in little sticker kit, which I'm using the Paint Strokes washi for this. I've been using the floral one that I offer in my shop, but I thought I would just change things up a little bit by using this print now. And so I think I'm gonna fast forward this part just a little bit, just because it's just me laying down stickers. Okay, so I have my weekly check-in spreads all set up. So now I'm going to break up the weeks. And what I like to typically do is go from Monday through Sunday. But since September started on a Tuesday, I'm going to go from the 1st through the 6th for week one. And that I will just put right here, just so that I have that, or keep that in mind. But I've pretty much have been doing this for like 2 years, so I pretty much know how I go about things. But of course, if Monday to Sunday is not like the best days for you, you can always change it to what will work best for you, your budget, your family, and whatnot. Then week 2 is going to be from the 7th until the 13th. Week 3 is going to be from the 14th until the 20th. Week 4 is going to be from the 21st until the 27th. And then week 5 is going to be from the 28th until the 30th, which is only 3 days, but it's fine. I like to typically break up my month into 5 weeks, and if I can't do that, I will make this a results section, which is actually what I did for the month of August. So now that I have my weeks are all broken up, I'm going to go ahead and quickly make my lines and come back to write down my categories for you all. Okay, so I've made my lines, and I would really like to know who let me make this line so thick. I feel like it's gonna bother me for the rest of the month, but it's okay. Now I'm going to write down my categories. So the categories that I like to track are my cash envelopes, like I mentioned, and those are groceries. I'm going to write household right after groceries, which is a newer category to my budget. Then I have eating out, gas, allowance, beauty, and then last but not least, I do like to have a section for unbudgeted expenses. And those are pretty much all the categories I like to check week by week with you guys. And so now that I have these spreads all set up, I'm going to bring you guys to my monthly view. Now I think I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that you guys kind of see the whole monthly view. Like I mentioned, I already do have these here, and I have my little micro happy notes here that has all of my cash envelope trackers. So this is how I like to track all of the cash envelope expenses, with just something that I keep with me at all times. Of course, I can't keep my budget planner with me everywhere, but this goes in my purse every single day. So I like to have this on hand just so that I know exactly how much it is that I have left over in my cash envelopes, and there's never any surprises. And so I have one for every one of those, and I'm going to be looking through that as I am going through my expenses. So on September 2nd, I went to Target, and I did have groceries. I did have a groceries expense as well as a household expense. So for groceries, I spent $38. And then for household on that same day, I spent $48. And I do like to keep the key here, by the way, so that I can reference as to which category that the expenses are coming out of. Then for that same week, I have one more expense on the 3rd from my beauty cash envelope, and that was for some hair dye. I do dye my hair red, so I do of course have to buy red hair dye every now and again, and that was $31 on the 3rd. Then I think that's pretty much all the expenses I made on the first week. But then for week 2, I have groceries, and for groceries I spent $70 at Vallarta, and that was on the 10th. And last but not least, me and Paul had Pizza Hut. We ended up buying pizza on the 13th, which was the day when I had Netflix party with my patrons, which was really fun. We ended up watching a movie, a sequel to a movie that we watched in the past. And so I definitely wanted to, have my popcorn and pizza ready to watch the movie with them. And that is what I got on the 13th. And that ended up being $25 from Pizza Hut. And I think, yeah, those are pretty much all the expenses that I have for my cash envelopes for both of the weeks. And now that I have those laid down, I think I can lay down some no spend stickers, as well as I can check off some of these. So I can check off my car payment on the 1st. That came out. I did pay for my car insurance. Renter's insurance was the same amount as last month, so $10.83, and I did pay for that as well. And then what is this? my student loan payment. I did pay for that too. So, and then last but not least, what is this? Oh, this is for electricity. I did end up paying $100. It ended up being more than $100, but because there's other utilities combined with the electricity bill, as I've mentioned before, and so this was my very first bill, and so Paul decided to take care of the rest and just have me pay the actual electricity bill. I think it was like 105, but he said it was fine that I could pay $100 and that he would pay the rest. So I'm finally going to be using my utilities stickers. I have these right here, which I have gotten requested time and time again because I typically sell this in a sheet of 2, so for electricity and water, but I have listed a different sheet on my website because I realized that I'm never going to be using the water utility sticker since I don't have to pay for water. So I've decided to list this sheet. Now you'll be able to pick up this sheet with just electricity, just water, or if you guys want to do half and half, you'll still be able to pick it up like that. So by the time that this video goes live, that should be already active on the site. So if you're someone that, let's say, splits the bills with your significant other, roommates, partner, or whatnot, and would like to have just one single utility per sticker sheet, then you'll be able to do that. So that is really cute there, and I did go ahead and pay for that as well. So a lot of bills, especially in comparison to, you know, my past couple of months. I now have to pay, you know, bills that I didn't have to pay prior to moving out. But now that I have all those bills checked off, I'm going to lay down payday stickers and no spend stickers. So I hope I have enough. If not, I'm pretty sure I have another sheet. But I did get paid on the Tuesday. And for no spend, let's see, we have no spend on the 4th, one on the 5th, one on the 11th, one on the 16th, on the 8th. Ooh, let me go ahead and grab another sheet of no spend stickers. Alright, I grabbed a new sheet of no spend stickers, and I just need one more for the 9th. So in total, these past 2 weeks, I've had 3 and 3 more, so 6 no spend days. It's pretty good if you ask me. And now that I have all of my expenses laid out in my monthly view, I am all ready to weekly check-in. So let's go ahead and take a look at, once again, week 1. That line, guys, that line. Okay, so for groceries, I've had just 2 expenses. One for Target on the 2nd. Ooh, actually, let's do week by week. So in the first week, I only had one for $38. It's going to be a little confusing, I know, just because I typically don't do 2 weekly check-ins in one, but that's okay. So after the $38, I had $237 remaining for groceries. And the reason I like to do these weekly check-in videos is to really know how much it is that I have left over for the rest of the month, because as you guys know, I like to stuff my cash envelopes once a month, and that is supposed to last me, of course, for the whole month. So this really keeps me on track, as well as, you know, working with cash and the cash envelope system. And so, okay, so I have that. Then household, I spent $48 on the first week. And then after the 48, I only have $52 remaining for household, which should be pretty good. Since I did pay for the household items this time around, I'm pretty sure the next time that we need anything, Paul will take care of it, and I'm sure I will be fine with $52 for the rest of the month. Then for eating out, there was nothing on the first week. So I know I budgeted $100 for this. So once week 1 was over, I still had the $100 left. I know I for sure did not have any gas expenses. And this, I think I budgeted, yes, I budgeted $80. So I still have those $80 remaining. Allowance, I did not spend anything as well. And for this, I always get 100, so I have $100 remaining. And then last but not least, I did spend some money for my beauty cash envelope for hair dye, and that was $31. And for beauty, I have $162 left. I don't know if you guys have watched my monthly plan with me for the month of September, but I was supposed to have an eyelash appointment for a fill, and that actually didn't end up happening. So that's why I still have so much money in that cash envelope. That didn't end up happening because my lash tech actually had to reschedule with me, and so I'm thinking by the time that I do end up getting a fill, it's no longer going to be considered a fill, because I feel like even now I'm struggling with these lashes, and I know I'll probably have to pay for like a full set, which is fine since I do have enough money for it. So I'm not worrying or anything, and that's kind of also the reason why I like to set realistic budget amounts. And then last but not least, I know I didn't have any unbudgeted expenses because those are red stickers, so I'm just gonna write a dash here since I don't have anything left because I don't budget anything for the unbudgeted category. And now that is pretty much the end of week 1, and I'm now going to be checking in for week 2. Okay, so groceries. For groceries, we have Vallarta, and the other one is just eating out. So the rest are going to be zeros. So 70 for Vallarta. That means that I now have $167 remaining for the rest of the month, which I do have my cash envelope here, and I am going to be counting with you guys. That is 100, 50, 65, 66, and 67 for groceries. Then for household, like I mentioned, I didn't spend anything else for the rest except eating out. So I still have what I had remaining last week, which is 52 for household. And that is 20, 40, 51, and 2. $52. I know we will for sure have to buy like detergent, fabric softener, and whatnot, so that's probably going to get used for that. Then eating out, I mentioned I had Pizza Hut for $25. And we did get it delivered. That's why it was a little bit pricier, and of course we like tipped and everything, so it ended up being around $25. And so 25 minus the remaining for last week, that means that I have $75 left over for the month. This is eating out, so 20, 40, 60, 70, and 5. So $75. And then the rest is going to be zeros, since that is the only expense I had for the second week, or the only 2 expenses, I should say. I actually haven't been feeling too great the past week, and that's, I'm pretty sure why, I didn't have time to like spend money and go out and whatnot, which, I mean, who really has time to go out nowadays? But let's see. The remaining is going to be exactly the same as it was last week for these. So gas is 80. I'll go ahead and count my cash envelopes in a second. Dash. Okay, so gas has $80, 20, 40, 60, and 80. Allowance has the $100 I started with, so 50. 50, 70, 90, and 100. Go. And then beauty has $169 left over. So 50, 100, 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, $69. So those are all of my cash envelopes, and pretty much it for the weekly check-in part of this video. Aside from doing the weekly check-ins with you guys on camera, I also like to kind of catch you guys up with any business expenses or transactions from my sinking funds, which as always, I do set up these spreads in the beginning of the month and make separate videos for them. So if you guys have not checked out the sinking fund spread, you definitely should. I feel like that's one of my favorites, since I do get to stuff the most amount of cash in those sinking funds envelopes every single month. And I don't know, I just have major love for sinking funds. I always push everybody who I know to start them. So if you guys have not started yours, or if you guys don't even have one for Christmas, definitely suggest it. I have a pretty good amount in there, so I'm happy with that. But you guys are not here to hear me blabber about that, but to kind of see the transactions that have been going on this month. On the 1st, I did take some money from date night to buy a Funko Pop for Paul. That ended up being $12. On the 3rd, it was my little brother's birthday. It was Andrew's 12th birthday, and so I did spend $125. I believe I ended up getting him a like Naruto sweater, and I just ended up giving him some cash. So that was his birthday present, and he is really into Naruto, so he loved that sweater that I got him. Then on the 5th, also from birthdays, which I have been saying how I'm going to, I think, change my birthday sinking fund to a gifts sinking fund, just because that is something that I used it for this time around. On the 5th, I spent $56 and I bought my friend Karen a housewarming present. I did go to her apartment just like she came to mine, and I decided to purchase just a couple of things for her. So that was $56 like I mentioned. And then also on the 5th, for my miscellaneous category, I spent $52 for a rice cooker, which I have gotten all your comments, and I've been seeing how you have suggested that instead of getting a rice cooker, I should get like, I think you guys were saying like an Instapot, and I know I got another suggestion. So although I did purchase that, I actually ended up returning it because I thought that I would just invest in something a little bit better that could not only make rice but among other things. And so I do still have it here as a transaction because I did ended up happening, and I did buy it from Bed Bath & Beyond, so I just ended up getting a store credit, which is fine. So that's in a little gift card that I'll probably use towards something else. But that ended up being $50, which I had been saying that I was going to buy the rice cooker, so it was specifically for that. And then last but not least, on the 7th, I spent some money from my clothing sinking fund. I spent around $33 for some clothing on Amazon. And that is pretty much it for the sinking funds transaction log thus far. I do have quite a bit of space here, but I'm sure I will not use it all. But that's kind of it for that. And then something that's really crazy to me, which I honestly couldn't even believe it myself, is that I have not spent any money on sticker purchases, washi purchases, or anything thus far, which is kind of crazy, but it's true. I think the main reason why I haven't been purchasing like stickers and stuff to show you guys is because I've been really busy with new products coming to the shop, and so I think I've just put all of my time into that. And so I can't tell you guys what is coming to the shop just yet, but make sure you stay tuned within the next couple of weeks, month, and whatnot, because there are some amazing things coming. But the only expense that I have here is on the 1st for $12.99 for PicMonkey as always, which is where I like to make my thumbnails. And then I do have this sticky note here, where I track all the shipping that I end up paying for kind of my Patreon, YouTube part of my business. And with that being said, I think that's going to be pretty much it for this weekly check-in video for both week 1 as well as week 2 of my September monthly budget. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't boring or anything to you. I know these videos might get a little bit repetitive, but I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. If you guys did, please do not forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already, and hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!